But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. Oh man, that kid was the cakewalk.
You know, nothing wrong. Canelo always has had a problem with boxing. He always struggles when he fights a boxer. Anybody knows that if you a boxer takes a punch, you're gonna give him a hard time. Floyd is not one of these guys that's gonna quit.
Crawford soundly defeating Canelo Alvarez. We thought that maybe he could have won by even a further margin on the scorecards. He gets it done unanimously. Teddy, can you put into words what we just saw from Terence Crawford?
Well, the only thing I wonder is if Crawford was born and made in a laboratory.
Floyd Mayweather didn't hold back after Canelo Alvarez lost to Terence Crawford. He mocked Canelo, saying he's not the same fighter anymore and that people have always made him out to be better than he really is. Mayweather added that he believed in Crawford from the beginning and backed it up by betting a huge amount on him. That bet paid off big time, and a post even showed the receipt, saying, "Looked like Floyd Mayweather walked away with a bag after he bet $50K on Terence Crawford to beat Canelo." Despite the loss, Canelo stayed calm and respectful. He gave Crawford credit, calling him a great fighter who deserved the win. But he also made it clear he's not done yet. He said he still feels strong, both physically and mentally, and hinted that he's ready for a rematch. Canelo's message showed he's still hungry to compete and protect his legacy, no matter what.
I can say to him, I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him. And if we do it again, it's gonna be great. But you know what? I'm glad to share the ring with great fighters, and I'm glad to be here. I already did a lot in boxing. I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there, and I still taking the same.
Ryan Garcia had a strong reaction after Crawford's big win, praising him in a major way. He tweeted, "I actually believe Crawford may be the best fighter of all time." Garcia explained that Crawford's performance showed world-class skill and focus for into legendary status. Meanwhile, veteran trainer Teddy Atlas broke down the fight by comparing it to Canelo's old loss against Mayweather. He said Canelo has always struggled with fast, slick fighters. Atlas pointed out that Canelo's slow footwork and hand speed are still a problem, and Crawford took full advantage. Even after a year out of the ring, Crawford came in sharp, focused, and ready. Just like Mayweather did years ago, Crawford used movement and timing to shut Canelo down. Atlas believes this fight once again showed that Canelo can't keep up with elite technical fighters, and that Crawford is now building a legacy of his own.
From the beginning, that if you go back, and I know it was a lot of years ago, I get it, but you have to have something to point at. If you go back to when he lost his first fight, of course Canelo I'm talking about, to Mayweather, it wasn't just that his hands were too slow, his feet were too slow. And he's in there with a guy with quick feet and quicker hands. You know what? It doesn't matter how big he is. What did Ali say? Your hands cannot hit what your eyes cannot see. That was tonight. It was great.
Let's put some context on this.
It was great.
Let's put some context on this victory first. A year out of the ring. I think it was like 13 some odd months out of the ring, okay?
Yeah, really?
Yeah, 2 weight classes. Think about that.
Yep.
He had surgery early at the beginning of the year. Surgery on the shoulder surgery, right? Not sure which one. And to come in here and to put on that type of performance against Canelo that actually is coming off a performance, right? You expected Canelo to be sharp. He was sharp, however, what Crawford did was he took the air out of the ball.
Yeah.
He used this. That's what boxing's about, people. It's about this. Strategy. That's what he had. He used his feet. He understood Canelo every single movement. That's why Canelo couldn't land any shots on him. He knew it was coming. He knew that the looping right hand was gonna come from the southpaw position. So what did he do? Hold the phone. He knew that the hook to the body was gonna come. What did he do? Block, and he shot up with counters.
One of his great assets that we don't hear about enough. One of those things that are not so easily as immeasurable on paper, but it's eyes, vision,
focus.
Yeah, we know the physical ones we talk about and we understand so easily. Speed, power, quickness, legs, all that stuff. But eyes, the radar. This guy's got him.
Sports journalist Ariel Helwani was quick to share the official result on social media, confirming what most viewers already felt. He tweeted that Terence Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez by unanimous decision with scores of 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 115 to 113. While the scores were close, all judges agreed Crawford had control throughout the fight. Hell-Winnie's post went viral, marking the moment that Crawford officially defeated one of the sport's biggest stars. It wasn't just a win, it was a smart, well-planned performance that proved Crawford's place among boxing's elite. Teofimo Lopez, known for his bold attitude in the ring, also reacted with high praise. He said it was a battle between two of the best, and that the better man clearly won. Lopez even said Crawford now deserves a spot in the top 10 greatest fighters ever. For him, Crawford's style, calmness, and precision made the difference and earned him a place in boxing history. Praise like that from a fellow champion shows just how big this victory really is.
In terms of his prime, how can you gauge it?
Doesn't matter. We saw a great fight tonight, did we not? And that's all that matters. Two guys risked it, and the better man won tonight. That was Crawford.
Terence got it right. Is there no need for a rematch, or do you want to see running back? Because it was pretty good, like you said.
No, it was pretty, it was really good, actually. So it's up to the jam. He's a jam. He can do whatever he wants.
What do you think happens with Canelo next after this?
What happens to Canelo after this? It don't matter. He's made a big statement for not only Mexico or the pride of Mexico, but for all Latinos right there. So he's done a great job for himself, man. Nevertheless, Crawford is on his way, continuing to create greatness.
Mentally.
What's up? I know boxing. I just know stylistically. I've been in the gym with. I've shared the ring with Canelo, and then I see that. So
they were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10 or top 15, easily, you know? There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks, you know?
The post-fight press conference, Canelo was asked what it was like fighting both Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. His answer surprised many. He said Crawford impressed him more especially in the late rounds, where focus and control really count. Canelo even went as far as saying, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather." That strong statement didn't just give Crawford credit, it lit up discussions among fans everywhere. The comparison sparked debate about who truly deserves the title of the best. By praising Crawford so openly, Canelo showed just how much respect he has for what Crawford achieved in the ring that night.
In the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than...
After Canelo Alvarez's loss, fans and experts began wondering what's next for him. His body language and comments hinted that retirement could be on his mind, especially now that Crawford has taken the spotlight. Many describe the fight as a boxing lesson, with Crawford using his smarts and skill to take full control and win the belt. People are already calling it a historic moment, with Crawford now being seen as one of the best of his generation. For Canelo, the loss raises a tough question. Is his time at the top over? For Crawford, it marks a new era, one where he becomes the face of modern boxing.
Was going to create history. I told you guys this before he fought Sean Porter. I said that Terence Bud Crawford can beat first ballot Hall of Famer and superstar and legend Canelo Alvarez. I've been saying this for years, that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And tonight, he did just that. He did just that. Not only did he beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, but he arguably retired Canelo Alvarez, who after the fight, Canelo Alvarez stated that he's done everything that he needed to do in the sport of boxing. When asked do he want a rematch with Terence Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez said, "It's no need." He gave no indications of a rematch. And Canelo Alvarez stated that he's a Hall of Famer, he's a winner, just being there made him a winner, right? And he stated that he's done everything he needed to do in the sport of boxing. That's what he said. Canelo Alvarez got schooled once again, I told you guys, styles make fighters. This style, this particular style of boxers and counterpunchers and movers has historically given Canelo Alvarez problems. And as I told you guys, right? Terence Crawford can fight any which way he chooses to fight. He's just that much more versatile. And everybody didn't believe me. They said I was tripping. Canelo was too big. He gonna knock out Terence Crawford, right? He too big, too strong. Terence Crawford get hit. Terence Crawford don't box, don't move. And I told you guys, when Terence Crawford wants to move and wants to box, right, he can. And he would, right? And guess what? Terence Crawford, I told you guys, when he fought the likes of Victor Postol, right? Y'all said that, oh, he don't move that much. I said, did you look at his fight with Victor Postol? Did you look at his fight with Jose Benavidez? Yeah, well, those guys ain't Canelo Alvarez. And I told you guys, it doesn't matter if they're Canelo Alvarez. It's about Terence Crawford's ability to be able to maneuver around and box in every which manner he so chooses. If he wants to incorporate that style that he boxes and moves, he could. And what did he do tonight? I said Terence Crawford can fight at every level. Didn't I tell you guys that? I said Terence Crawford can fight in mid-range. He can fight on the outside. He can fight on the inside. Canelo Alvarez cannot. Y'all ask me, why aren't you talking about what Canelo Alvarez can do great? And I told you, because we know what Canelo Alvarez is going to do. He's going to fight.
Boxing legend Andre Ward quickly gave his thoughts on Crawford's win, calling it a historic moment. He described the fight as one that fans will remember for years to come. Ward said fights like this define greatness. They separate good fighters from all-time legends. What impressed him most was Crawford's calm, smart performance, where he picked Canelo apart round by round. Ward called it a goated moment and made it clear that Crawford now deserves to be in the discussion of the greatest boxers ever. His words show just how big this win really was in the eyes of boxing's most respected voices.
Seeing Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, what was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
Terence Crawford is great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, and he did that at 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting it together. Just a great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people call me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there, the power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So, what more can I say?
What would you like to see him do next? Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked.
Incoming star Keyshawn Davis, who sees Crawford as a role model, reacted with pure excitement. He called Crawford one of the GOATs, a title that's rarely handed out by young fighters, unless it's truly earned. Davis admired how Crawford stuck to his plan and didn't let Canelo settle into the fight. For him, this wasn't just about winning, it was about proving that greatness comes from brains, discipline, and hard work. Davis's reaction shows how much Crawford's victory means to the new wave of fighters who dream of reaching his level one day.
What's up, bro?
5, baby.
Yes, sir.
5 out, my boy.
What do you think made the difference?
Back in that ring, King.
The speed, really.
Yeah.
I think it was the main factor. Canelo couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His feet, footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah?
I feel like Bud damn near basically won every round, so
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about right to say that.
Now, with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
yeah. Yes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing, so now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time, for sure.
Former heavyweight champ Lennox Lewis didn't hold back with his take. He questioned how any judge could have given 5 rounds to Canelo, saying Crawford clearly outboxed him. Lewis pointed out that Canelo has always had trouble with quick, mobile fighters, and Crawford made that weakness clear again. While he hoped for more dramatic moments in the fight, Lewis still praised Crawford's smart and technical performance. His comments highlighted the things, the holes in Canelo's style and the way Crawford used movement and timing to completely shut him down.
Let me tell you, great fight. I was hoping that there was more action coming from Canelo. You know, I'm used to Canelo fighting that way all the time. He tried his best. He always has trouble against movers. I was really expecting them to be more punches, more movement by Canelo. What can you say?
This reminds me of the point that Jai Apatai made yesterday, and you picked up on it. He said he's coming in with all his belts. Terence looks like he's still hungry, and Canelo looks like he's whining and dining in his success. Do you think that might be the difference tonight?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it was a little bit of difference. The cat has got really fat, so he tried his best. I've seen Canelo box about many times, and I thought that this time he just boxed like he always boxes. And then I felt he couldn't really do nothing against Terence Crawford because Terence Crawford was too quick, too elusive. Anybody would find trouble with him, but Canelo couldn't find him.
The scorecards were 2 red, 115, 113. Were they right with the cards?
It was for Canelo to win a round. I say he won about 3 rounds in that fight. I was actually amazed at the way how Terence Crawford moved and never got hit, and threw combinations because that's what you're supposed to do, throw combinations. So he threw combinations. He wasn't trying to knock out Canelo, but he definitely was throwing a lot of punches.
Roy Jones Jr., one of boxing's most talented champions, was blown away by what he saw. He called Crawford's win a beautiful performance, one that combines skill, patience, and strategy. Jones said Canelo has always struggled with fast fighters who can move, and Crawford exposed that flaw once more. To him, this wasn't just a win, it was a complete breakdown of Canelo's usual game. Crawford left him without answers. Jones's praise adds even more weight to the idea that Crawford didn't just win, he dominated in a way that proves he's on a whole different level.
It's a beautiful performance, exactly what I expected. All I want to see was Chris take a punch. When you take a punch, you know what's going to happen to you.
Did you expect him to trade with Canelo like that on the inside?
We spoke on the airplane going to Dubai.
Yeah.
The only thing I told him was that you could not give Canelo the something. And earlier you gave it to him, but then he started outboxing and outsmarting with it, and he started taking it back at the right time. So he studied the film very well. He knew when to fight, when to move left, and when to move right. Very smart fight. He completely frustrated Canelo.
Did you score it, Roy?
Huh?
Did you score it?
I didn't score it, but I think probably something like 8-4.
8-4?
Yep.
What do you think should happen next, Roy?
I have no clue.
Crawford put himself amongst the all-time greats like yourself with that.
He did. Yes, he did.
5-weight world champion, 3-weight undisputed champion.
Yes.
Where are you putting him in the all-time list?
Hard to beat.